Right now I'm standing in Uttoxeter, and this is a very nice, peaceful area. All these are business premises, they're all offices, they're all little shops. And then this little building, this was a cake shop until very recently. One of the best ways to make money in property in 2024 is to find commercial properties that are empty because you can buy them really, really cheap and no one wants them. This was bought by one of my students for a very low price of just £70,000. And what he's done is he's used permitted development rights to convert it into a house, and he's massively pushed the value up of the property. So let's go and have a look around. Dino, good to see you, mate.
Hey Samuel.
What was this 6 months ago?
It was essentially a bare bones shell from a cake shop formerly, and I saw that as an amazing opportunity to obviously add value. This here was sort of like the shop front, if you like, right. Kitchen at the back where they did the actual
upstairs previously?
cake making. The offices, I believe.
Was it?
Yeah.
But it was empty when you bought it.
Completely empty. We've not made any structural changes. The bare bones of the building is still very much the same.
So why did no one want it? Because it went to auction, didn't it, and it didn't sell?
It'd been on the market for a long time. Nobody obviously wanted it because it had problems. It had some damp issues, some roof issues, and obviously I think the whole commercial to resi thing put people off.
Yeah, and people don't realise that you can turn a commercial property into a house.
Yeah, 100%.
They don't realise, and if you're a first-time buyer looking for a house, you're not really looking at cake shops, and now it is a house, and it's got a tenant in.
Yeah,
and you're making good money, and you've increased the value massively. So show us around, and then if you don't mind, I'll pick your brain on what you did and the figures and how you financed it.
So nice period features throughout, as you can see. This is the footprint of the original building just down here. And then there was an extension that was done a good while ago prior to my ownership, which is obviously the kitchen.
So when you bought this, was there a kitchen already in here?
Very minimal, like commercial, you know, the sort of metal sinks and things like that.
How on earth, in this market, did you manage to negotiate to buy it for just £70,000?
The asking price was 99k, and I just put in a really cheeky offer. As you say in your training, if you're not embarrassed by your offer, it's not low enough. Thankfully, he's a motivated vendor. He's been trying to sell it for a long time and he can't sell it. And he came back with a counter offer of 75, and I stuck my guns and I said 70. Accepted the offer.
And how did you feel at that point?
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, my broker couldn't believe it.
I bet. You can't buy a property, a commercial property, especially if it's run down, you can't buy it with a normal mortgage, can you?
No, so I had to use bridging finance to purchase the property. So I put 20,000 deposit and we got a £50,000 bridge.
So they gave you 50 grand, but they're charging you quite high interest, presumably.
It's about 1% a month, isn't it?
Compared to a normal buy-to-let mortgage, that's more than double. So a bridging loan, the purpose of it, for anyone that's wondering how finances will work, you're buying it, you're bridging the gap between purchase and refinance. So you put down 20 grand deposit, you got a 50 grand bridge, but you don't want to be stuck on that bridge for too long. So that's why it's really important to be able to get the refurb done quickly. One of the things a lot of people struggle with is they'll buy a property and they'll be on a bridge, but then all the good builders are busy.
Difficult to find good trades, but Nathan from the academy, his power team came and stripped the place and did what they needed to do and smashed it really.
So it's not just what you know, it's also who you know.
Absolutely.
So what did you have to do up here then?
Essentially, mainly decor. It was in pretty good shape for the most part. So obviously we've patched some holes, liquor paint, new bathroom and carpet.
So how much was this refurb then, start to finish? And how long did it take, Dino?
We spent about 30,000 on the project altogether in terms of refurb. And we did it within 5 months.
That's really good going. Talk to me about what is prior approval? Because this is a listed building as well.
Prior approval is a process in which you can speak to the local authorities in order to transition a commercial building into a residential dwelling.
And that is usually up to a 56-day period.
Yeah.
So that was pretty straightforward then. So you didn't have to go through a grueling planning permission process. When did you get it revalued and were you happy with the amount that it came in at?
Yeah, I'm really thrilled to say that we've doubled the value of the property.
Wow.
It's got a GDV of 140.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
And you did the buy, refurbish, refinance training?
Yeah, absolutely.
How was it?
I had to make quite a few mistakes along the way had I not had the training, truthfully.
So bought it for 70, spent 30 grand on it, so 100 all in, 140 end value. And what about stamp duty? How did you have to pay stamp duty?
2,100, but I'm currently in the process trying to get that back.
I think you will get that back. How long did it take you to find a tenant?
I actually put it on Facebook, believe it or not, of all places. I got 20 literal inquiries within a week. I had 3 viewings and the third guy took it.
What's he paying then for this?
So we're achieving £750.
That's good.
Yeah.
So making good profit each month.
Yeah.
And it's a free house. What's your main occupation? How are you making your money?
So I'm a paramedic in the NHS.
So you're doing that full time and doing property?
Just cut my hours, so I've reduced to part-time now,
Right.
with a view of, doing this.
I guess that's the thing, having a second income like property. If you're a paramedic, very fulfilling job, right? But also very long hours. So being able to just cut your hours back a little bit is a huge thing. And also provide accommodation for people. Like what you're doing is you're taking a disused rundown cake shop, which is no use to man nor beast. And now you've provided a lovely little home for somebody and making the economy better and saving lives. So
Yeah, we do our
respect,
best.
Dino.
Thank you.
What's been the biggest takeaway that you've learned from this house?
Biggest takeaway is get educated. Had I have not done the training, like I said, I'd made quite a few more mistakes. Also, the importance of producing a valuation pack. Obviously, within your training, you would advise the students to make a valuation pack and present it to the valuer when they come. Because people walk into a place like this and think, oh, it looks great, but not necessarily have an understanding of what it was previously.
Yeah, and then the valuation came up good at 140, you refinanced it. You've done great, man. What's next for Dino?
Well, I've spoke to a landlord that's local to the area who owns some of the neighbouring properties here, so who knows if there's an opportunity to take those on, I'm hopeful to do so.
It is possible to become financially free from buying properties using none of your own money, but it's also possible to lose money in property. You will either pay for your mistakes or you'll pay for your education. And if you want to pay for your education and learn from someone like me, do you know how much it costs? £1 and a day of your time. So I'm going to leave a link in the description. Come spend a day with me. Tickets are £1 for the Property Investors Crash Course, and I'll teach you the ins and outs of how you can do deals just like this. See you there.